Plus Sports Special on Plus TV Africa. My name is Wally Scott. Welcome on the show. Mukail.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a fantastic. What do you mean? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me now.
It's not our show.
Kilo come.
You know?
I'm always thankful that I'm where I'm at, wherever I'm at.
but really. 4 weeks after claiming the WAFU B Under-20 Championships, Nigeria again won the Under-17 title in the region as 5-time world champions. The Golden Eaglets edged the young Stallions of Burkina Faso 2-1 in Saturday's final at the Cape Coast Stadium in Ghana. Now, forward Abubakar Abdullahi had threatened the Burkinabe rear as early as the 8th minute when his low drive streamed away from goal. But let's leave it at that. We've got Victor Godfrey via Zoom on the show. Welcome on the show, Victor. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Wally. It's been a while.
It's good to have you on the show. And I've got Monday Thomas all the way from Calabar, Akwa Ibom, on the phone. Monday, welcome on the show.
Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the sports show this morning.
Thank you, Monday. Now, I'll start with Victor. Victor, first off, our Under-17 team doing very well. Our Flamingos, the ladies, doing very well. Have we returned to the glory days of our underaged football teams?
Well, the truth of the matter is, on the 17 team, and we've returned back to Tyson. I think it's all about progression. We had this nation where you record champions of the under 17. I mean, we've had great generational talents. Mikel Obi in 2001, sort of a group competition. So it's all about progress from. I'm not overly excited. Yes, win the under 17 WAFU, the 17 African Cup of Nations. They go to the World Cup. They can win it, and then what happens? I mean, only 2 players take the progression. That is very for my own case. So it's about having from that development all the way to the Super League.
Victor, I'll come to you in a bit. I have issues with your audio, and they are working on it. But Monday, let me come to you. Victor says, the other guest says that, listen, he's not optimistic yet. He doesn't think it's hooray yet. He's still a little pessimistic about the underage teams for now. Monday, what do you think?
All right, I was getting to it. I mean, for us, it's good for us to give credit when we see something brilliant. But for us to rush to conclusion is not what I will like on the show this morning, because I can remember we were very bright before. Don't forget that for under 17 football, we are the most holders as far as the male category is concerned. We are the 5 times world champions. But what really made us not to be working last time, I mean, I can remember in 2009 where Nigeria played Spain in the semifinals. That particular championship was hosted in the country. And in the finals, we played against Switzerland where we lost 1-0. I mean, if you take a look at that side, the likes of Sani, Emmanuel, Stanley Okoro, I mean, these guys were a little bit over age. You don't get to see them again. We didn't see them again after the Nations Cup. I mean, that's what has been happening. The team when Mikel Obi played back in 2005, he played alongside Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria. I think I can actually look back and say it was only Mikel and Taiwo that stood the test of time. Most of the players back then were over age. But right now, if you see the future of Nigerian football, when we talk of great football, you see that these are very young talents. Ndukam Bade was very meticulous. He was very careful in selecting, making sure the age is in tandem with your ability. Oh man, it's okay to bring a good player who is over age against a young side, but for the Ndukam Bade side, the under 17, they are very young lads. Same thing with the under 17 of Flamingos who have a draw of the World Cup. I saw that particular draw yesterday, and as well as the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. I mean, I think the future is bright, but for us to jump to conclusion if they are back yet, I wouldn't want us to do that. But the future is bright for Nigerian football. And I don't think there is time for us to criticize. It's just time for us to encourage these young guys. We've seen a glimmer of hope, and I think we should light it up.
Okay, Monday, slow down. Don't go anywhere. Victor, don't go anywhere either. Let me come to you, Mukail. This is what my take is. Just my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me. In my first years as a sports reporter, I was fortunate to have covered the Nigeria 99. And I remember vividly that I saw Ronaldinho. I actually interviewed him. I saw Peter Crouch. And for many years after, those players continually played for England. Peter Crouch was in England. Ronaldinho became a star overnight. And then we all saw, you saw that too. You might not have seen Nigeria 99, but you all saw when Mikel Obi played and became second. And we saw Lionel Messi play for many years. We saw, fortunately, Mikel, which means to a large extent, he didn't particularly lie about his age. But apart from Mikel and Tayo, everybody else disappeared. Nigeria 99 is my case study today. After that match, I didn't see anybody in the Nigerian team anymore. But I heard of Ronaldinho many years to come. I heard of Peter Crouch many years to come. Is age cheating part of our problem?
Yes, it is definitely a part of our problem. The fact is, when it comes to football, when it comes to the underage teams, we've had our hearts broken so many times. It's enough to be jaded. It's enough to be cynical when they present us a slate of players and they say these players are under 17, under 18. There's enough in our history to make us feel like this is probably a lie, and it's given us a bad reputation on the international sporting stage. I could say one reason why that existed back then, as much, probably more prevalent back then than it probably is right now, is because we were trying so desperately to catch up to the really big boys. It always felt like we were so far behind the curve that by the time we started investing effort, time, and resources, financial resources, into building up these young teams, most of the crop of talent that had been sourced at that point were already over age. And
Now, Victor, my other guest on the phone, he's calling all the way from Akwa Ibom, Monday, says that he agrees with you. But I am singling out a point from this. Is age cheating? Our boys lying about their age? Because see, you can't cheat nature. If you are 40, your body will act 40. So what's the problem? As in, is age cheating our major problem?
Well, the reality, I heard the guest on the show, of course, and I agree with their sentiment. Age cheating obviously is a problem. 2009 in September, and you can quite clearly see that those players are actually above the. I mean, we can talk about Taiwo and, but it just shows you the progression rate of our, which is very, very low. I'll give you an example. Japan, that generation. You flipped 2000 when you had likes of Samsung, didn't make it to Super Eagles. You know, because from just current goalkeeper, Uzoho. So you still have that question, right? So it's alarming. And I also said that, yes, you had it. Like, okay, you've done well. I'm not saying it's too well. The hype around this competition, especially from the Ghanaian side. So winning it is good for. I feel like.
Okay, we're working on Victor's audio. But let me come to you Monday. Monday now.
Okay.
Let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
I was suggesting something. In my earlier days of reporting, like I told Mukail, I was in Nigeria 99. And I saw Ronaldinho. I saw Peter Crouch. But after many years, when these guys were still playing, I didn't see any of our Nigerian players anymore. So maybe the decline in our underage teams is because of age cheating.
I don't think that is the story right now. But what you're saying is right. I was very young when I saw Nigeria '99, and like you said, I saw this Japanese player. His name is Yanagisawa. He went ahead to play the 2002 World Cup, and well, like you said, Ronaldinho was also right there. But right now, it was a problem, but I don't think it's a problem anymore because I've taken time to take a look at the under 17 we have right now, especially the one that executed that game yesterday. I mean, with the help of MRI tests, and I'm very sure in the nearest future, there will be nothing like age cheating anymore. I'm talking 2 years, 3 years from now. But right now, it has gotten better here in the country. The young lads are literally players who are playing in academy, especially the left back who scored 3 free kicks. Emmanuel Michael, he played for Simon Moses' academy. So these players are really young. Although the age cheating, time and time again, any time, any day, I will agree that it was one of the problems of our football. But just as the studio gets it, that, I mean, we were trying to catch up. That's why we were winning trophies here and there with overage players, with overexperienced players against young nations. And I think he's right. He's 100% right with that particular one. But right now, with the invention of the MRI test coming to Africa, and that's why Nigeria was struggling for some time. But I think we've been able to find our standing ground. And from now,
Monday, I'll come to you now. I'm going to make a whole lot of fun of you now. And we're going to laugh at you. Mukaila and I will laugh at you right now. I'm coming to you. Okay. Let's come to this. He says things have changed. The former governor of Lagos State, Raji Fashola, once said that the only way to stop age cheating is to start from secondary schools. Then Monday says MRI scan. That's where I want to laugh at him. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was under 17, and the scan was brought to Nigeria and they scanned. And Taye succeeded, and Kennedy did not succeed. And they are twins, actually. So did the MRI scan fail there or succeed there? I'm laughing at Monday there, really.
I mean, for us to make an informed decision on what went wrong in that scenario, we would have to go back to school and gain medical degrees.
Exactly.
I will say that one of the reasons why, to my earlier point about us trying to catch up, even till this day and for maybe the next decade or so, we're still going to have a lot of our players who are contemporaries of future stars from other nations, and our players are probably going to bow out earlier than they do. The likes of Tai Taiwo and Mikel Obi might have already bowed out, even though on paper they were contemporaries of Lionel Messi. But for the future of our footballers, our youngsters, we're still going to have something that isn't going to be on our side compared to the Europeans and the Brazilians and other South Americans. The fact is these countries are so far ahead in their development of their youngsters in terms of nutrition, in terms of training, in terms of how young they get these players into academies. And we're still going to have to catch up to them on that groundwork, on that fundamental foundational work that these players go through. We haven't caught up yet. Until we do, before we start having players who can play till they're 37 like Ronaldo.
Now, Monday, I said I was making fun of you this morning. Let me make the official fun for you. A few years ago, twins went through the MRI scan for the under-17 competition. Now, the first twin succeeded. The MRI scan passed him. The other twin, he wasn't passed. And they are twins, only about 4 or 5 minutes away from each other's birth. What went wrong there? Can we trust the MRI scan, like you said?
Technology gets better in time. I mean, that was probably the first time they arrived in Nigeria. And you know, this is a country where we get to see very wonderful things. But I think it has been in existence for over 4 or 5 years now. CAF have taken it really serious. This MRI test is also done at the host nation sometimes. When you get there, players are being dropped at the host nation. So it might have been something that just happened maybe means that it was the first time. But I think in time to come, like I said, it's not completely accurate, but in the next 3-4 years, the MRI test and scan will be something we can trust. But for this under 17 players that executed, they are ones for the future. I can tell you for certain.
Monday, I want to thank you very much for joining us today. At such a short notice.
It was great being on the show, Alex.
Thank you very much. Now, in the past, the Azzurris, the Italian national team, have had some fantastic strikers. When I started watching football, there was this guy who actually, this is a good story, really. His name is Paolo Rossi. Paolo Rossi was brought back from jail to play for the national team. He succeeded in ensuring the Italian national team won the World Cup. Not only that, he was the highest goal scorer, and he was pardoned, so he didn't go back to jail. The agreement was bring him to the football match, do what he has to do, go back to jail. And then you got Roberto Baggio. You know, some fantastic strikers Italy have had. They're not very fantastic players. They don't show skill, but they actually go to the point. And some strikers have been there. There's a striker in the Italian team. His name is Lorenzo Insigne. Another fantastic striker. Now, Lorenzo, I don't think he's too old, really. But now, Italian soccer star Lorenzo Insigne was greeted by cheering Toronto FC fans as he was introduced at a party yesterday. The MLS squad recently added winger Insigne on a free transfer, but he isn't expected to make his MLS debut until July 9th. Insigne scored nearly 100 goals in a 12-season career with Serie A side Napoli and is expected to bolster Toronto's squad. Lorenzo Insigne, 12 seasons, over 100 goals, and he's a winger.
Yes.
Not an out-and-out striker.
To be honest, the Italians have something that I don't think most nations have. When it comes to their players, it's like they get better with age. And they last longer, especially their defenders and even sometimes their strikers.
I was going to mention that.
If you remember De Rossi.
USA 94.
Yes.
USA 94, we had Amunike on the wings and Amokachi on the right against a Paolo Maldini, who was 42 then. And the other guy, can't remember his name now, he was 41. And they took Amunike and Amokachi out in 5 minutes and the game was over.
You're probably talking about Cannavaro.
No. Paolo Maldini and, I remember his name for my hands.
If you remember De Rossi.
De Rossi, yeah?
If you remember Francisco Totti. These are players that played at the top of their game far longer than their expiration date should have suggested. And
even the goalkeeper, Gigi.
He's still...
Gigi Buffon is still... And it's over 40.
So when we talk about an Insigne going to MLS... we might still think so little of MLS compared to European football. Yeah. But we do see a lot of good football.
But the MLS is growing every day.
Yes, and we do see a lot of good football being played in the MLS. So even though at his age he's going to the MLS, he is not unworthy of still playing in Europe.
True.
This is a player that Chelsea still tried to buy a couple seasons ago. He's not so far gone. He's not so far past his best. And I think Toronto are getting a fantastic player who's going to improve the quality of the team to no end. Insigne is still a very capable player, and
sure.
I wish because of the time difference and the fact that we're so invested in European football, we're not going to see him as much. But he is still worth watching.
I'll make you a promise, though. I don't know if Mukai will back me up on that one. But we'll try and look for one of these days we can find Insigne play. And actually show you guys and see how good he is. For those of you who don't know who he is. Okay, one of Mukai's favorites, Stefanos Tsisipas, has reached his first tour-level final after beating Frenchman Benjamin Bonzi at the Mallorca Championships. The Greek took just 1 hour and 32 minutes to beat his opponents in a straight set 6-4, 6-4 win. Tsisipas will face a Spaniard, Roberto Bautista Agut, in the final later today. You know when someone comes into the room all the time? He comes, he says something, he goes, he comes, something again and he goes. And then when he comes again, you're like, oh, he don't come again. That's how Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin's case is for me. Not again, really. Now, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin received their rivalry on Friday renewed as they promoted their September 17th trilogy fight in Las Vegas. Golovkin and Alvarez. It's been going on like forever. Yes, really.
Well, neither.
Somebody should just beat somebody, possibly kill him in the ring, and then we'll know this thing is over, really.
Obviously, I think there's probably some animosity that goes beyond
Boxing. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes, and neither of them is ready to accept. And even after this, don't be surprised. Years from now, we might get an exhibition match between both of them, just
to make money. Before we go to our final story for the day, and I'm leaving you with that one. She's back. Serena Williams is back. And she was on Wimbledon's center court once again yesterday as she attempts to win an 8th title as the SW19. The Americans eagerly awaited return to Wimbledon will begin in the first round against France's Harmony Tan as the 23-time Grand Slam champion resumes singles action after a year out next week. She's 40 years old and avoided any of the big names in the draw and will get the chance to ease into the tournament against world number 113 Tan as she targets an unlikely 8th title. Wildcard Williams, nationally ranked down at 1,204, has not played a singles match since retiring to injury and in tears in the final round a year ago against Alexandra Sasowicz. Former champions Andy Murray and Garbin Muguruza were also in action, training on court number 1. She's back. And we shouldn't expect anything scintillating at 40.
yes.
Really, come on.
Age doesn't look good on a legend. And we obviously, I think if you remember, Muhammad Ali, on 3 separate occasions, he should have retired. And he kept coming back. And the losses that he incurred kept seeming worse than the last one. Obviously, we don't want to see Serena Williams lose badly, especially when this is a former number 1, and right now he's being ranked at 1,000 and something. It's not a good look on her. We still want to see her win. We still want to see her go far in the competition.
If she does well right now, it's going to be a miracle.
If she does well, it's going to be Serena Williams doing what Serena Williams does.
She comes back.
Yes.
She comes back at you. Thank you, Mukayo Tinubu. Thank you very much, Isaac Ogbini. I call him Zico. That's what I call him. Thank you very much, Kay Kayode. I'm coming for you now. Thank you very much, Peter Piro. He's always got my back. Thank you very much, Osas, my producer. Thank you very much, our main producer, Paul George. You can call him the President General if you want, PG. Thank you very much. He always has my back.
Parental guidance.
Thank you very much, D1. Dio. Thank you very much. Join us same time next week on Plus Sports Special on Plus TV Africa. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you, at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports. I leave you with World Rally. Rovan Pera comes back from the dead. After winning on Wednesday, losing on Thursday, he wins again yesterday. Rovan Pera, World Rally, Dakar Rally in Kenya.